Very good morning to all. Today we have a PhD Viva of research scholar Mr. Shyam Sunder Agrawal. Research guide is Dr. Amit Kumar. He is an associate professor of IBS Academy, IBMR. We are thankful to Dr. Karnesh Saxena sir. He is a vice chancellor of Sangam University, Viva. Sir, we are really very thankful. You have accepted and given the consent and date to conduct this PhD Viva today. If you permit, can we start? Go ahead. Please start.
Sure. Good afternoon, one and all. I, Shyam Sunder Agrawal, pursuing PhD under the guidance of Dr. Amit Kumar, Associate Professor, IPS Academy. My title is A Study of Risk Perception and Investment Patterns of Women Investors in Madhya Pradesh. As we know, women are the integral part of our society, and they play a very important role in the economic development. The total part of the they represent 48.21% of the total state's population. There was a 33% growth registered in Madhya Pradesh, especially in context with the women investors. As per the third, there is a significant rise in the women investors in the last couple of years. According to the Clear Tax investing firm, says that the women investors is increasingly because they are contributing the Indian economy and fastest growing segment in India. There was 28% hike was registered in the total investment of the state, especially in Madhya Pradesh. So Madhya Pradesh has been considered as a growing state of India. Hence, level of investment in various segments is increasing day by day. 18% growth was registered in modern methods like IPO, equity and bitcoins and others. Market experts predict that 45% growth till 2030, and they are contributing various investment avenues according to their needs. These are the review of literature. I have reviews at 80 plus research paper. Few are here. According to, as India is a competent market to invest various investment avenues, Indian economy is growing rapidly because immense potentials options are there, and these options emerge the various avenues to enhance the financial stringency of the particular women. According to these, there is a shift of attitude towards the various positive avenues in diversification strategies are there. These are the rationale. On the basis of research gap, I found the reason why we have chosen these topics. So we know about the increase in the level of education, significant rise in the women employment, growth in the women entrepreneurs, and raising participation in social economic activities. I have framed, apart from the well-known factors, we have to identify the other factors on the basis of preference and perception. For this, we have proposed models. One is women investors preference, that is WIP, and another is WIP perception, which is WIPR. Here alpha 0 and beta 0 are the constant, alpha 1 and the regression coefficient. These are the objective of my study, which cover all the dimensions of my topic. Research methodology, research designed to know about the risk perception and the patterns about the potential preference, purpose of the investment, what are the patterns of the investment. For this, we have designed the particular research to know about the increase from last couple of years. Descriptive research technique is used in this study, in which we have used qualitative and quantitative technique. Qualitative for the secondary data on the basis of websites and other journals, and quantitative data for we have designed the questionnaire in which we have collect the purpose of the investment, what are the factors that affects the particular investment. So for this proposed model through SIP, through SEM path diagram, women investors perception and preference, these are the other options like mutual funds, bitcoins, IPOs, bonds and ULIP plans. where women's invest on their basis, on the basis of their intellectual. So this is the other factors which we have identified apart from the well-known. That is IR stands for investment range, level of awareness, popularity, and level of risk. There are 4 factors. E1 stands for error terms, and where A0 is constant and A1, A2, A3 are the regression coefficient. The next one is for the perception. 3 factors are there: company reputation, nature of products, and information source. Again the same, B0, beta 0 is constant, beta 1, beta 2, 3 and are the regression coefficient. I have collected sample from entire urban cities of Madhya Pradesh from different sectors, from banking, insurance, education, retail, IT. I have covered 14 cities of Madhya Pradesh. I have shared Google form to 800 people. Out of 800, 492 responses were recorded, but there was some partially filled forms are there. So totally final responses were 364. These are the 14 cities like Indore, Ujjain, Ratlam, and etc. Sample collection, I have already talked about the 2 sample, primary and secondary both. Primary through questionnaire and the secondary through different internet website, library and journals. These are the analytical tools keeping the research objectives the current study adopted. First is Cronbach alpha, QMO, test, SEM, factor analysis, t-test, ANOVA, correlation, linear and multiple regression, graph and pie chart. These are the hypotheses. Should I read this? Total 10 hypotheses.
Let me see the first one.
Yeah, there is no significant difference between mean score of women investors showing risk perception behavior and assumed mean of the population. Next is hypothesis 2nd, 3rd and 4th, that is age, income and purpose of investment is insignificant to influence the risk perception behavior of women investors in Madhya Pradesh. Hypothesis 6 is talking about the risk perception behavior of the women, especially for the market linked plan, MLIP. And 7, 8 is the talking about the level of awareness. 9 and 10 again talking about the level of awareness in terms of income and purpose of investment. So first objective, result analysis. I have framed 6 null hypotheses for the first objectives. So null hypothesis first rejected due to the low significance value. So the result revealed that the women investors believe that emerging options are there because the experts are there, conceptually strong options are there. They are well managed by the fund managers, shows transparency to the investors, easy options of withdrawal, switching. So ultimately, risk perception behavior of women investors is found lower, but not lower because the mean value is 3.39, which is very less to 5. So gradually it is increasing from moderate to high. So I think there is a more grip to the firm to invest the to knowledge about the investment of the particular segment or avenues. Hypothesis 2nd again found rejected due to the low significance value. So again, age is the biggest factors that influence the, as age is increases it among the but lower age group shows low risk perception as compared to higher age group shows higher risk perception. Again, income is significant because this is also found rejected due to low significance value, but income again play a vital role to influence the particular risk perception behavior of towards emerging investment options. Here we see that the income level 2 to 4 lakh is the mean value is 3.6607, which is very high. But it is exception because sometimes new generation or newcomers invest more. They are taking they are risk taker, this risk lover. But as we see that if income increases, the mean value is decreasing. It means if income is more, the risk perception is less. If income is less, risk perception will be high. Purpose of investment, here I have taken three purposes: child marriage, child education, retirement and household income. So through ANOVA, null hypothesis is rejected due to low significance value. So here we see that the child education and the retirement shows high mean value, high mean score, because highest risk perception as compared to the child marriage and house making. Household income, I have covered two types of income: single income and double income. So single income shows high risk perception as compared to double, because single income has less amount of income, so they invest and they are more focused about the investment. But double income are risk taker, they want high return in short term period. Risk perception behavior of women investor towards market linked investment plans. So again, this is found rejected due to low significance value. Investors believe that investment avenues are being managed by the experts, which ensure that predictable return in the given period of time. Here we can see one by one the factors towards MLIP. Age, as we see here that 25 to 35 age group shows less risk perception as compared to, as age increases, the risk perception is high, because if once your age is increase, it means you should more focus about the investment.
What is MLIP?
Market linked investment plan. Income based plan, if income is less, the risk perception is very high. Once income is gradually increases, the risk perception will decrease. But at point of time, if income is more than 8 lakhs, that sometimes it will increase. Purpose of investment, the purpose of investment in child education and house making is less as compared to the child marriage and retirement. Women are more focused about the marriage and retirement, about their children, their family members. If household income based MLIP, if single income is there, then risk perception is high, because they have limited income, so they focus more in investment. They don't want to take risk in future. But if we have double income, the risk perception will be less. Objective second, 4 null hypotheses have been framed for this. So null hypothesis 7 found rejected due to low significance value. Women investors are found well aware of, are informed about emerging investment options, because today's technological world, technology updation are there. So women have speed up their investment. Women are employment more as compared to the last couple of years. They are participating in new investment options. They are getting independent, because they are generating funds also. Here mean value is 3.3720, which is very near less to 5. So again, still there is a need of awareness required to women investors, because in semi-urban areas, women are not much aware about the investment. Age is insignificant to the level of awareness. Again, age affect the level of awareness. Once age is increases, awareness will increase. So the level of awareness get affect from the age. The investors, which means that different age level women investor degree of awareness vary. As we seen like 25 to 30 years, the mean value is less. Once the age will increase, the mean score is increases. But at point of time, more than 45-year age, the mean score is reducing, because exceptions are there. It may be due to importance and relevance of the investment in this stage. So if they are got independent, they are having money, they can invest. If they don't have money, they will not invest. So that's why the mean score is reducing. Income is insignificant to the level of, again, null hypothesis 9 found rejected due to low significance value. So if income is, if we have more income, we will search on Google more options, where we can invest. But so level of awareness affect the income of investors. We can see here, if income is 2 to 4 lakh, the mean score is very high. Means those women who have less income, they will search more options because they don't want to take more risk in future. But if we have more income, the mean score is near about 2 to 4 lakh, because again, if we have much fund, we will invest in the particular avenues. Purpose of investment, again found rejected due to low significance value. So again, the level of awareness increase, the purpose of investment also, our purpose will change. Here again, I have taken 4 purposes: child education, marriage, retirement, housemaking. But here, women are more focused about the child marriage and child marriage and retirement. They are less focused about the child education and housemaking. So here we can say that the risk perception is very high towards child marriage and retirement, and child education and housemaking is less. Objective third, for this we have framed the model that what are the potential factors that affect the women investors' preference and perception. So these are the well-known factors. Apart from this, these are the factors through factor analysis we have found: investment range, level of awareness, popularity, level of risk. 14 variables are there. First is investment range. Investment range shows highest factor load, that is 2.978. It means women affect the range, means through the range, particular, if they are investing what amount of minimum amount of required, they are investing lump sum, they are investing SIP or EMI form. Lock-in period is what, features are what, bunch of benefits. So they see all these parameters. On the basis of these parameters, they invest in particular avenue. Level of awareness, as we have already discussed, the level of awareness play a very important role to a particular. If we know about the IPO, we will invest the particular IPO. But if we don't know about the IPO, we don't have heard about the IPO, we will search out the IPO, what is the IPO. So if we have the awareness, the readiness towards buying in particular option. So level of awareness play an important role. Third is popularity. Popularity means they generally the close friends and the circle which they are doing the most. Working women believe that most those options which they have heard through known people, their close friends, they are more in talks about. Level of risk. If we invest particular avenue, what kind of risk is there? So risk is again most common parameters to invest, selection by an investor, because the level of risk, sometimes level of risk may not affect the particular avenue, but if risk is high, return will be high. On the basis of perception, I have taken these are the well-known factors. Apart from this, I have identified 3 factors on the basis of factor analysis. 12 variables are there. So highest factor load is 2.55 of company reputation. Company reputation, like goodwill of the particular company, the popularity with respect to returns. If company will not give proper returns, then people will not invest in that particular. Because firms perceived value in customer mind, settlement of disputes, what are the experience of previous customers of there. So company reputations have highest factor load. Nature of product means what kind of product, the size, the term, tenure of the particular, medium, short term, long term, high risk, moderate risk. So what kind of like saving, investment, tax saver, what is the nature of the particular product. Information source, from where we are getting the information. Our friend says that please invest in IPO or mutual funds or SIP because it generates good returns. So information source source is another prominent factors to help the same shape the women investors' perception towards emerging investment options. It is found that advertising is very important, celebrity endorsement and heavy promotions, but positive perception is also required. Analysis of fourth objective. So in this we have found the highest regression value of investment range, that is 0.45, level of awareness 0.36 and 0.41 and 0.40. So the first factor, investment range, shows contribute 45%, followed by popularity and level of risk and then level of awareness. On the basis of perception, we have found three factors: company reputation, nature of product, information source. So first factor, information source, contribute 52%, followed by nature of product, and the last is company reputation, 27%. Analysis of fifth objectives. In this, we have taken women investors' perception. To analyze the investment patterns of, in this we have taken again three factors: income, purpose of investment, and household income. So investment pattern can be analyzed on the basis of three important parameters. So in this, through questionnaire, the data which we have found, low income respondent do regular monthly investment with less risk. They prefer long term investment, and they are highly influenced by the close information sources. Middle income respondent make diversified investment. They are ready to take low to moderate risk, and they prefer short term investment. High income respondents generally go for the short term investment because they want high profit in short term period, in short period of time, and they use generally diversified portfolio. So income based investment pattern. Purpose of investment based income investment pattern. If purpose is child education, so investor with the purpose of child education focus on regular investment, take moderate risk, concern for return, and opt for long tenure. Return means they talk about safe return. Child marriage, investor with child marriage, they opt conventional options, diversified investment towards market link like equity and different mutual funds, SIP like. And they focus savings rather than investment. Retirement, those who their purpose is retirement, they opt long-term tenure, shows trust on equity linked plan, and more focus on recurring investment like RD or something SIP type. So, house making, they more focus on house high return because they go for the long-term purpose, and they prefer equity linked plans. Third is household income based investment pattern. So double income investors or respondents prefer aggressive investment because they are high risk taker. They invest in market linked plan. But single income respondent, they are very cautious, they are very alert. They avoid risk, they invest in long term plans but prefer savings rather than investments. These are the findings. Finding of first research objective. In this, again, risk perception is higher in.
You can skip the things that you have already explained and not repeat the summary part and all. In your chapter, in your thesis, there is a chapter on summary. So that is repetition of what
Yes.
you have already told. So
I have skipped in the PPT. Yeah. So findings again, investor with the child education and retirement shows high risk perception as compared to the child marriage and housemaking. Age, income, purpose of investment, household income influence the risk perception. Younger investors shows low risk perception than elder women investors. Findings towards MLIP. So high risk perception behavior, older age group women with low income respondents with the purpose of child marriage, retirement purpose, and single household income shows high risk perception behavior as compared to younger women with high risk income respondent with the purpose of child income and housemaking, with double household income shows low risk perception behavior. Findings of second research object, these are the demographic variables which we have taken. As I have already discussed that older women group shows high level of awareness and younger age has low level of awareness. All income are found awareness, income is very important for the awareness. But score of 2 to 4 and above 8 lakh income group shows higher risk perception behavior. Purpose of investment, child marriage and retirement shows high risk perception as compared to the child education and marriage, housemaking. These are the finding of third research objectives. Investment range, already I have discussed that they are talking about the lump sum or SIP or EMIB, lock-in period form. Level of awareness, information source, what are the information sources, heard from their close information, someone else. Popularity means the which are publicly famous. Level of risk is the common parameters which people will invest. Company reputation, goodwill and popularity with respect to returns. Nature of product, the size of the particular product, the tenure, and what type of degree of risk involved. Information source, again, from where we are getting the information. So finding of fourth research objectives is we have find out level of awareness 4 on the basis of preference 4 things, and on the basis of perception 3 things. So 3 factors which we have identified that are company reputation, nature of products, information source play a significant role in making positive negative perception of women investors. Information source is highest contributing factor, followed by nature, product and company reputation. Income based, low income source is less risk taker. They are regular basis, they are doing investment on the regular basis. They go for a guaranteed plan. Middle income carry low to moderate risk, prefer short term to medium investment. High income, they are risk taker. They prefer short term investment and go for diversified investment. On the basis of purpose, child education prefer recurring plan because they can easily switch, they can withdraw, they can deposit anytime. They take moderate risk. Investors with the child marriage focuses on saving plan rather than investments. Retirement, they are more cautious because they prefer recurring investment and long term, especially long term purpose. Housemaking prefer equity linked plan with high return option and set long term goals. Household, again single, prefer savings rather than investment, and double income prefer investment rather than saving because they are risk taker. These are the limitations of our study. Study focuses on Madhya Pradesh only. Primary data is limited to 364 sample size, which may not give accurate result because we don't have covered the entire population. Only working women is considered in this study. There are many entrepreneurs, women employment also. I have not I have not contacted because the sampling done only for 14 cities of Madhya Pradesh. Selected demographic variables other than like family size, marital status, qualification, religions and all. These are the references. Thank you.
So, Mr. Shyam Sunder, I have gone through your thesis with interest.
Yes, sir.
And then I found that you have taken up a very interesting topic pertaining to women investors.
Yes, sir.
Right. So, any particular reason for selecting this target group?
Sir, actually, I have reviewed so many papers. So I found the gap, research gap is there because there are so many areas of, especially in Madhya Pradesh, where still women are not aware about the investment, about the avenues, because they are not means especially for the market, live market. So I think gap is there. That's why I have taken, because man, man is dominating the overall market. So that's why I have taken.
So that is why on the first look, everybody will be surprised to have a look at your thesis topic, because in many households, women are not allowed to participate in financial decision making. So what was your experience?
Yes, sir. I have. That's why I have shared in 800 people the Google form. But in especially in rural areas like nearby Morena, Gwalior, or like Shivpuri, the small urban areas where I don't get any response, because they don't aware about the questions which I have asked. So I think still there is a lot of awareness is required. Again, government is doing so many campaigning for the. Recently, government has launched a program that is Mahila Samman Saving Certificate in this budget for the, especially for the women, those who don't have income, those who are single parent, they can invest from 2 to 4 lakh rupees and they can generate some fund. So still there is a big challenge for me.
That is what,
Yes.
actually. And secondly, there are issues pertaining to when you were talking about single income and double income. So we can't always generalize, saying that the single income will always be less income and double income will always be more. I can give you an example that suppose myself and my wife, we earn 20,000 each, or myself 25 and she earns 25, 30, whatever. So sum total of our salary is 1, but then sir alone might be earning much higher than that. So single earning can also be higher than double earning. So we in research, we can't have any set prejudices. You get my point?
Yes.
Be aware on those aspects.
Sure,
Anyway,
sir, sure.
Moving further, which particular research paper was of great help to you in this research?
Sir, I have published a research paper in this Union Journal, IPS Academy.
No. When you were reviewing literature, then which papers impressed you most and helped you in your research?
Sir, actually I don't have.
No, you have reviewed number.
Yeah, I have reviewed, but
At least any one research paper.
Gorson and Kumar, I have actually they are talking about the Bangalore city particularly. In there is a Bangalore city. There is a woman working in IT sector. So her income is 8 to 10 lakh, more than 8 lakh. So she is more focusing about the means latest the market link plan like IPO, SIP, bitcoins and all. So I have mentioned in the thesis also.
You have mentioned, but there are certain papers which can be, which can set the tone of research actually, so from that viewpoint. Coming to, actually I am moving chapter wise, right? So coming to research methodology, then you mentioned that your research design
Yes, sir.
was descriptive,
Yes, sir.
right? So any particular reason for choosing descriptive research design?
Sir, actually already research is there, existing research is there, so I can describe it also. I cannot explore the new things.
Few minutes ago you said that research gap is there.
Yeah, research gap is there, but
Contradictory statement. Anyway, you may have your own idea. To my mind, the kind of empirical analysis that you have done, and with regards to Herpes testing and all, so this study qualifies for causal research design, right? CAUSA, causal research
for
design.
that I have done factor analysis.
Exactly. So what you have done, your research design should be labeled like that. So that was another gap which you can take care of. Similarly, what was the sampling method used by you?
So purposive sampling.
Purposive sampling. So what purpose you had in mind?
Purpose to know about the risk perception and what are the patterns of the investors. especially in context of women.
So would you club it under probabilistic sampling method or non-probabilistic sampling method? Purpose.
Probabilistic.
How can it be?
Because sir, I cannot taken the full.
देखो पहली चीज तो घबराओ आराम से जवाब देना है.
जी.
So it will be non-probabilistic. Okay. And then that brings us to another question, that how purposive and judgmental sampling method are different. इसमें पढ़ना पड़ेगा आपको थोड़ा सा. You will, because this is the highest degree, and so you will have to be more perfect in research methodology. So purposive rather than purposive, I would have preferred judgmental sampling design. Why judgmental? फर्क क्या है बच्चों? आप लोग जो स्कॉलर्स हैं या जो भी स्कॉलर्स तो यहाँ नहीं दिख रहे मुझे. अच्छा चलो तब तो ठीक है. That फर्क ये है कि those cases where the researcher is using his or her judgment to select the respondents. So that is where the judgmental sampling technique will be useful. For example, I want to study those organizations where quality management practices are at a significant level. So I am using my judgment. हाँ इसको लेना है इसको नहीं लेना. Like that. So same way you could have used your judgment to shortlist, select that these women investors can be useful for me because they are investing at a particular frequency, where particular amount of money they are investing regularly or something like that. So judgmental would have been more appropriate from my viewpoint. You and your guide can very well differ with me, there is no problem. But then this is the exchange of ideas and thoughts. So when we come, there are of course many pluses in the research, and that is that it is highly structured research work with 5 objectives you had.
Yes.
And those 5 objectives, you have carried them till the end, because the objective wise analysis and discussion and everything. So that is one feature, that is a good feature. Another feature is that you have mentioned with regard to the findings, the literature support, right? So that is the table which you have given. That is also very good table, because that tells you that which are the research papers which are supporting your these findings. Yes. And all. I think that you can also have another column where the reverse is happening, because it is many times possible that your findings may be in agreement with some of the researchers and maybe in contrast or in contrast with others, or disagreement with other researchers. So that could also have been added, no problem. And so your analysis was good, because you have this thing taken up hypothesis pertaining to each objective, and then you have done the appropriate analysis everywhere. But I could not, I have read the thesis 2 times or so, but I could not find the this thing Cronbach alpha value for your statements that you are having here. So have you mentioned it in some place?
So I have mentioned the thesis only. The range, Cronbach.
Yeah, not in the presentation.
Yeah,
not in the presentation.
The thesis.
Thesis,
Yeah.
So I might have missed out on that. This questionnaire that you have designed, did you do any pilot testing or anything?
No, sir.
Pilot testing is also
Likert scale based.
Because that also I could not find the reference neither here in the thesis nor in the presentation. Pilot testing is not a bother for you. Rather, it is a help for you that you are based in Indore and you have so many women colleagues here. You could have tested your questionnaire with them only. In the session downstairs, I was telling you that do the collaborative research. So this is one such example of that. So you are also working in some academic institutions, so you could have done pilot testing easily. Anyway, then comes that the women of that to Madhya Pradesh, right? Because that is not considered to be a very progressive kind of a state. As progressive as is some of the southern states or Maharashtra or those places. So could you only get the responses from the questionnaire, or did you use your observation also while talking to them? Sometimes they are filling the questionnaire, but then they are afraid that it may be their husbands or their male members in the family. They may find out that they are not only doing investment, and some of them might be doing this thing stealthily without revealing to many male members also. So what was your observation? That is of course not listed here, but
I have
if you have yourself collected data,
only
personal,
dependent on questionnaire.
only dependent on the
Yeah,
question.
because my topic is working women. I have covered the working women only. So more in colleges, in banks, in IT sector.
Since your all the respondents were working women,
Yes, sir.
right? And so the 90% plus cases would be double income.
But sir,
Because of the fact that the women they are, and so their husbands, if the women are working, so most likely their husbands are also working.
percentage is
There
less.
are very few house husbands. Very few house husbands.
Unmarried.
Some
Unmarried females भी होंगे ना sir.
unmarried females भी होंगे, single parent भी होते हैं. Yes. Okay. So coming to your this thing, discussion part. Then before that, when was the data collected by you? The period during which the data was collected.
Total 6 months I have
किस
collected.
period? कब से कब तक किया?
इस ईयर से कौन से ईयर तक आपने
22 June to
December.
September, October. Yes.
So why I am asking you? Because this has to be specifically mentioned in the research methodology that the data was collected during such and such period, or especially just when we have gone through this COVID pandemic and all, and so that would have given me an idea that what these women investors are thinking and in which time frame they were doing these investment decisions and all. Because I have come across many theses when COVID pandemic time period, that time many people have shifted their investment to life insurance policy. कि मर गए तो क्या होगा? Right. So that is how I mean their thinking is affected by the time period during which the data is. Your factor analysis is good, but scree plot is missing. Right. So that you could have also included there. And other than that, same you have tried, but you could have also tried to develop a profiling. I mean, a profiling in the sense that he has given so many examples that working women and having these purposes and all and going into that. So this is all very nicely he has presented. But if in the thesis, if you would have got the what we call the managerial implications or things like, so or I use normative framework model. So that is where he could have given an idea that if this is the profile of the women investors, then these are the preferences, right? And so this would help mutual fund companies and all in designing their marketing strategies, targeting towards their women investors and all. So that could have also been very useful there. Some of these questions were there. Then some of these suggestions that I want to give to you. And of course, in your case, it is too late now, because in your case it is post-mortem. But for others, those who are ongoing their research, it can be very useful for them. Number one is that you have given chapter 8 as limitations.
Yes, sir.
To my mind, there is no need for a one-page chapter, and it is a one-page chapter only. And so you could have shifted it to the research methodology chapter, and the end of the last subheading in the research methodology is the limitations, right?
Okay.
One second suggestion is that, and that is I would say a glaring lapse on your part. Suggestions for future studies. That is to be invariably given. And there are so many universities where I am the examiner, and then they specifically give me a checklist कि ये दिया है कि नहीं, तो उसमें आपका क्रॉस हो जाएगा कि भाई सजेशन फॉर फ्यूचर स्टडी दिया, फ्यूचर स्कोप ऑफ रिसर्च जो है that also has to be highlighted, and that is in the last of the thesis. The very last side heading would be that. Secondly, the third suggestion is that your chapter 7 is about suggestions, right? And that also is a Yeah, one-page suggestions only. So for a PhD research work, we would like to have this thing, detailed set of suggestions, recommendations, and all you can have for different stakeholders. Like for example, you can have set of recommendations or suggestions for mutual fund companies, for women investors, for their family members, for so many other interested parties that you can have. And there again, what I was telling you about profiling, so a normative framework, suggested normative framework can be part of that. And then in the suggestions chapter, the last one would be suggestions for future research kind of thing. So that will make your research much more worthwhile, because this research is good. I am not undermining its importance or anything. Your hard work is evident, but the work that you have done, it has to be marketed also, right? So then people will why should they read your thesis? Because they are having some concrete, tangible takeaways. So I am trying to tell you all these things, because when you are writing papers in future, so your quality of research can be further enriched. You are a young academician and you have a long way to go. So I think that you will keep in mind these suggestions. But one very important suggestion which I am telling to all of you is that there should be slide numbers in the presentation, because if I want him to go back to any slide, I can't take him there. So those kind of things are there. As a researcher, you should be very careful about the terms that you are using, because you were using the term child marriage. Now, child marriage का मामला अलग जाता है. That is the marriage of the minors, right? While you wanted to indicate that the marriage of children, right? Marriage of their children or things like that. So थोड़ा सा ये polish की ज़रूरत है. I think that's all, sir.
Very detailed descriptive analysis. A very detailed descriptive analysis.
And minute to the basic level.
नहीं, बस एक ही चीज रह गई थी. देखिए, एज ए मैन मैं भी जब इन्वेस्ट करता हूँ ना, तो मुझे भी, जबकि मैनेजमेंट का प्रोफेसर होते हुए मुझे फाइनेंशियल एडवाइजर चाहिए पड़ता है कि भाई कुछ गड़बड़ ना हो जाए, मेरे मेहनत का पैसा है. और महिलाओं की स्टडी में फाइनेंशियल एडवाइजर का रोल कहीं आता तो और अच्छा है ना. ये
Now the house is open for questions. If anybody is having any questions.
I had a suggestion.
Yes.
And suggestion was that number of dependents in a family also would play an important role. क्योंकि हम income की अगर बात कर रहे हैं सिर्फ, तो एक तो फैमिली इनकम होता है और नंबर ऑफ डिपेंडेंट्स कितने हैं. किसी का भी इन्वेस्टमेंट जो रहेगा, it will be dependent on the number of dependents in the family.
Sure.
तो वो एक चीज. और दूसरा, जैसे सर ने सजेशन दिया, वैसा एक और सजेशन ये कि आपने जैसे फीमेल्स का डाला कि भाई दे वर वर्किंग इन वेरियस इंडस्ट्रीज, तो अगर उसका भी हम बाइफर्केशन कर पाते कि भाई एजुकेशन में कैसा है, if females are working in education industry, if they are in IT industry, if they are in banks, तो how different are the perception. तो ये आगे फ्यूचर स्कोप के लिए भी वो चीज आपके लिए हेल्पफुल एंड एप्लीकेबल रह सकती है. ये दोनों चीजें.
सत्यकाम अपन जो रिसर्च मेथोडोलॉजी के वर्कशॉप किया करते थे, तो उसमें मेरा फोकस यही रहता था ना कि भाई किस तरह से हम इंडिपेंडेंट वेरिएबल निकालें, कैसे डिपेंडेंट लें. अब जैसे आपने किया बढ़िया है ना, एज्यूम्ड मीन से लेने के बजाय जो हम सब पॉपुलेशंस का जो डिफरेंस लेना चाहते हैं उससे और अच्छा हो जाएगा. तो वो ही था. और भी कुछ कालीचरण.
Indian women are the fond of gold.
Yes.
इन्वेस्टमेंट में गोल्ड को इंक्लूड किया
नहीं किया. कोई रीजन, विशेष रीजन?
Actually, I have covered.
गोल्ड
भी एक इन्वेस्टमेंट ऑप्शन है.
मॉडर्न है.
I have taken.
बिटकॉइन में इन्वेस्टमेंट करा रहे हैं.
सर, अगर आप गोल्ड के रिटर्न को स्टडी करो तो मॉडर्न क्या इट इज
अल्ट्रा मॉडर्न.
नहीं, जब हम women के पर्सपेक्टिव में स्टडी
But they
आप सही कह रहे हैं. IIT.
They focus exchange traded fund.
कोई रीजन विशेष उसका
सर इसमें हम करियर स्टेज भी डाल सकते हैं
हाँ।
हर फीमेल की करियर स्टेज के हिसाब से उसके इन्वेस्टमेंट पैटर्न चेंज हो
चेंज हो
वो
बहुत
डाल
सही। इन्होंने कोशिश की है एज से लेकर।
हाँ उसमें किया
Age से link
हमने और
किया।
उसका रिस्क भी निकाला है
करियर स्टेज पूरा यूज करते हैं ना तब उसके बेसिस पे मुझको
सही।
क्योंकि अभी इंडियन वुमेन्स गोल्ड में काफी फोकस करते हैं
सिर्फ women in the Indian families की अगर बात करें तो today gold still is a preferred
Asset.
option with the kind of levels that are being set.
अब तो गोल्ड बॉन्ड्स भी आ रहे हैं।
आउट ऑफ द रिसर्च दिस थिंग मुझे मैंने एलजीबी खरीदा था सोवरेन गोल्ड बॉन्ड एक साल खरीदा कि तुम गोल्ड की जगह इधर दूसरे साल तीसरे साल में मेरी वाइफ बोली ये तुम्हारा गोल्ड है
इसको कान में लटका के घूमे
Which actually shows
ज्वेलरी में इन्वेस्टमेंट जो है ये गोल्ड में इन्वेस्टमेंट जो भी
but jewelry is actually not an investment. Jewelry is not an investment actually.
उसी पर्सपेक्टिव
ज्वेलरी को पर्सपेक्टिव इन्वेस्टमेंट
For physical gold is different.
There is a crisis in the family.
हाँ।
उसमें वो फिर वो सेक्रीफाइस भी कर देते हैं वो लोग इस तरह से।
Contingency
It is
में।
an investment to be used as a last resort. As a last.
सबकी सब तरफ से बधाई
इसीलिए तो ये वो सर को कॉल लेना कॉल इज टेकन बाय दिस सर
जी मैं चाह रहा हूँ और भी कोई क्वेरी हो अगर हो जाए। Otherwise, congratulations.
Thank you, sir.
Dr. Amit, the worthy supervisor, young
Yes.
and worthy supervisor.
Congratulations.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.